Citizen TV, the citizen power.
And the story of the Good Samaritan has happened here in our country recently. Just that there was no Samaritan, unfortunately. An old woman who had been knocked down by a car, who was in Winneba Hospital. You heard about it. They said she had been there, no relatives were coming to visit her, nobody was coming to her. She was eating all their food, nobody would come and discharge her. So what did they decide to do? They put her in ambulance, and they said she was knocked around Gomo Ojobi. So it means she comes from Ojobi there somewhere. So they took her in ambulance, went to the outskirts of Ojobi and went and put the woman there. And said, maybe if we leave her here, the family will hear and come and take her. She lay there for 5 days and died. And the question is, let's even leave what the hospital did. When the woman was lying there, people were walking past. Indeed, some of the eyewitnesses said, we saw the ambulance come and put the woman there. And that she's been lying there for the last 5 days. And the question I ask myself is, did these people not read the parable of the Good Samaritan? Because the woman lay there for 5 days. I remember there was a thunderstorm on one of those 5 days that cut the Winneba Road or something. She was lying in that rain, and eventually she died. And so the Good Samaritan parable is not just a story that Jesus told. It's happening every day in our communities and our societies. That you see somebody in trouble and somebody suffering, and you don't have time or mercy to even just go and see what is it that is happening to this person. And so it teaches us the story of compassion. And all of us must have compassion for people in trouble, people who are vulnerable. And so let's not just read the parables without understanding what it enjoins us to do as Christians. Because Jesus told these parables to lead us in our lives and show us how to be good Christians. If we say we're followers of Christ, then it means we want to follow in the footsteps of Christ. We want to do the things that Christ did. And Christ had compassion. Christ had forgiveness. And so these are all things that we should take up.
Citizen TV, the citizen power.